Hi guys, Zach Esposito here with Fanatics Wrestling again. Currently the associate head coach at Oklahoma State, former national champ. Today's video we're going to cover a basic blueprint for the double leg and the high crotch. And the double leg is a great move that people that use it even at the highest level, from college to international style. It's also the first move, really one of the first moves that you learn when you're starting wrestling, okay? Because it promotes very good penetration into a leg attack, and it's the most basic way to take a person down. From there, we're going to get into the high crotch situation that can get a little more detailed, can get a little more advanced, but we're going to try and keep it as basic and so that little kids can use it and older people can use it. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. So before we get into doing this move with our partner, we're going to just focus on the penetration step. In previous videos that I did, we covered a penetration step, but this is just a brief intro to be able to step to our opponent and create distance from a starting point to an end point. So what we're going to do is, for this double leg and for majority of our high crotch, we're going to do an inside leg penetration step. Okay, so whether I'm starting in a square stance, okay, or whether I'm starting in a staggered stance, okay, majority of the time I'm going to be taking this shot out of my staggered stance. Okay, so if I'm in my square stance, I'm going to need to change into my staggered stance. So just change it from my feet are square or my head and chest over my body, okay, where I'm switching from here to here. Okay. Now in my stance, to help me, I'm thinking about my push foot. Okay, my back foot, I want to try and turn it more to the side. Rather than a sprinter feel where my toe is tucked in the mat, I want to try and turn my toe from here to more here, so that my drive is coming with the whole foot, the whole side of my foot, rather than just my toes. Okay, so being able to turn my foot here to get that push and that drive into my shot. Okay, so starting up high, okay, from our feet, this is one of the hardest things that when wrestlers start to wrestle, or say an older person in jiu-jitsu want to get into their shots, transferring their height from up high, down and up and through tends to be hard. People tend to nosedive into it. So from here, I want to really lower my level. So I'm here, I'm square, say I change to my staggered stance. My foot is turned to that side. From here, I want to take a step forward, here, okay? When I take that step forward, you see what that does with my back knee? It lowers my level down. Okay, it lowers my level down. Now from here, my chest is going to my knee. I'm pushing. You see how I'm driving off that back foot? My knee is going down to the mat here, and now I'm following my trail leg coming up. Now from here, instead of thinking of going straight forward, I'm going to move and push to the side here in that position. Then I can shuffle on my way down. So from behind here, I'm square, I'm switching to my stagger. I'm stepping forward. As I'm stepping forward, I'm lowering my level. You see how my back knee is bending. I'm really pushing off the side, the bottom of my foot right here. As I'm stepping in, my knee pounds. As my knee pounds, this is the hardest thing that people do, is when that knee pounds, they stay down with their chest rather than getting big with their chest right here. So from the square, I switch my stagger. I'm stepping forward. My knee pounds. My head and chest comes up. I'm pretending like I'm grabbing my partner's legs. My trail leg's coming up. Now from here, what you're going to see is my angle of my motion of going up and to the side on this angle. Here. Now from here, I could always exaggerate by taking a few shuffle steps with my feet of how I'm going to finish. Okay? From forward, from this position, I'm square. Here, I'm changing. Now here, I'm in a good stance. Okay, my back knee is bent. From here, I'm stepping forward. As I'm stepping forward, my chest is coming down to my knee. Right here, now I'm pushing, I'm driving my foot off the mat. Knee pounds. As my knee pounds, I'm extending my body up. Now from here, trail leg comes up, and I'm changing across. Okay, so that's a good way of starting from your feet. If you're having trouble with that, normally like if I'm starting with little kids, and I'm really getting them kind of going, they have that trouble of here and they nosedive down into it and they have trouble going. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just start them on that back knee right here. So that back knee's on the mat, my foot's on the mat, and now I'm going from here. Okay? Now from here I can just push and drive and coming up. This is the biggest thing, is being able to drive and come up rather than drive and go down. I want to think of myself on my double legs, and really on a lot of my shots, I want to think of myself like an airplane taking off. It's going down the runway, and it's taking off from that ground. It's elevating, and then taking off, boom, up to the sky. So when I'm here, starting here, that knee on the mat, I'm thinking about my foot being pushed, my chest on my knee, and I want to think about explosion and coming up. Here. Okay. Here. Push. Pushing up. Like that airplane. Boom! Taking off in the sky. Okay. From this way. Knees down. I'm leaning. And up. If you want to add, if you're doing this on your own, add in a little bit of jump to you to kind of just promote that explosion. Just exploding and coming up. Okay, so once you kind of get that, then you can move back up to your feet. Square, stagger, step. Now I'm lowering, kind of like I'm lowering to put that knee on the mat. Here. Coming up and through. And I really want you to focus on the angle I take. Okay, this angle. Angle coming up and across. Okay, that's a little bit of a focus on when my head's on the outside of a double leg, which we'll get into. Okay, so level change here. Penetrating. Starting from down, we're starting from up. Stepping forward, penetrating over the knee. When I hit that knee, I get big. Change off. I'm coming across. So those are the basic mechanics of the penetration step to get into our double leg. Okay, so now we're getting into our double leg with our partner. I got my good friend Zoe with me again. Here's the man. Okay, and he's got some videos out on Fanatic too, so give him a check out. He's got a really good defense system. Okay, but what we're going to be getting into first in our double leg is our head on the outside double leg. This is kind of going to set you up for your high crotch. Okay, high crotch is my head on the outside, so you're kind of already beating it. You're kind of already cheating to get to that high crotch finish and shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on my partner just being square, just here. Okay, there's going to be no setup yet, and my partner's going to kind of just stay in his stance and kind of like a scarecrow or with his hands up, just like a perfect kind of dummy of an old school type of wrestler right here. Okay, it's kind of like that statue pose. Okay, now I'm going to just work on my penetration from the outside. I want to think about, okay, if I could reach up and I could palm the top of his head, this is a good distance to shoot from. Okay, if I'm really close, I can still get to my double leg, and there's a lot of different attacks, but from space, okay, I want to be at a good distance about here. If I'm really far out here and I'm taking that shot, you know, you got to be someone crazy good like Jordan Burroughs to close that distance and power to get through them, okay? Because what will happen too is that if the shot's from the outside, that person could sprawl and I put myself in bad position for him to go behind. So from here, I want to put my hand kind of on that top of the head. This is my good distance from here. I can start square and then move staggered, okay? Now from here, I'm lowering my hands down. I'm just going to work on my step. So from here, my foot is turned. This is a really big part, okay? I'm really good and strong and stable when my foot is turned here. And my drive is really strong from here. Now from here, I'm lowering my level again. You see how I'm bending my back leg. Now from here, I'm stepping. As I'm stepping forward, you see how I'm getting underneath his chin, underneath his arms, and I'm below him. As I knee pound here, I'm shooting up into him here. Right here. Now my hands, they're wrapping. I like to wrap my hands around his thighs. I don't mind you locking your hands. I don't mind you locking your hands at all. Sometimes in college wrestling, the scrambling is so good that if I lock my hands, I could take away those scrambles. So I don't mind it. But just for learning purposes too, and really good, I'm making cups with my hands. I'm cupping right behind his hamstrings, kind of in a down motion rather than here, down motion. Now, see that I'm extended. My knees on the mat, my head and chest are big, my bottom is off my heel. Trail leg is coming up here. This is the position you want to be in. Good strong back, good strong head, arms are in tight, not extended, and my body's in. I want to think about my head being right along these ribs up here, almost below his armpit right here. Okay? This is going to help me get that angle. So when I'm here, I'm big and strong right here. Now from here to go into my finish, I'm coming up and my foot is going to point and go across. Okay? Rather than pushing into him and folding over, my head and chest are up, and now when I'm coming up, my foot is going across the body here. You see how I'm transferring Zoe's weight from this foot to his other foot. In this position, head and chest are up, I'm wrapped. Now when I'm coming up, I'm looking with my head. You see how I'm looking with my head? Not looking up at the ceiling, but looking across his shoulder and his back. So from here, I'm pushing, driving, stepping my foot across here. Now from here, I could drive across and into my finish. Right there and end it. Okay? This is how you get cauliflower ear, at least the good wrestlers. Those cauliflower ear came from getting drilled into the mat. Right? Old school in France, getting it drive in. But this is where you get that cauliflower ear because you bang that hip or you bang that body. Okay, it's just hitting it. Okay, so again, very simple. Square stance, I'll switch to my stagger stance. I'm using that distance on my head. Okay, lower my level. You see how I lower my level right here. If you want, you could touch your hand to the mat. You watch a lot of Oklahoma State guys, we touch our hands to the mat a lot is because that's kind of a judge for our height in our stance. It helps us with our level change. Here, step forward. I don't need to step completely through his legs. I'm stepping forward to help me lean. When I need pounds, I'm getting big with my chest and coming up. Boom! Now from here, the biggest thing, especially when you're working with little kids or even as adults that are starting wrestling, they drive in and they leave this trail foot down. And they end up extended. Biggest thing is getting that trail leg up. I'm measuring, square, step, hit, boom. Coming up, my head's coming up. From here, trail leg coming up. And now I'm driving across into them. Here, foot's going across, running them down. Looking to end on the mat there. Fall into my Turks or fall into whatever it is. From behind here, measure my distance, stack, step, penetrate, down and up. Up, up. That's the biggest thing I can explain, is down and up like an airplane takeoff. Legs coming up, and now driving across. You don't have to get crazy, go here and lift. That's what a lot of people make mistakes with. I'm driving across his body. Here, see how this leg comes up? Weight's on this leg. Now I can shuffle and take him down from there. Again, if you want to take a step lower, you can start down on that knee. If I'm here, okay, even here, working on my penetration coming up, here, boom, coming up and across. Starting down here, stepping and going. Coming up and across. Okay, so that's a simple penetration step to get to my double leg. Okay, so we covered that head on the outside of your double leg, and that one was probably more specific for me because I wasn't so much of a bull, like of going through people. Okay, but one of the most basic ones that is taught throughout everything is a head on the inside double leg. These guys like Jordan Burroughs or guys with great double legs can just run through people. Coleman Scott had a great double leg, head on the inside double. Okay, where you kind of target this guy's chest with the front of your head. I think about my nose or my hairline being that target or being that that point that I'm shooting at, that target. And I like to kind of aim for that sternum, that mid-sternum, not too high on the chest, not too low on the belly, but right kind of in this kind of hard area right here. Okay, and I want to think about hitting them, and I think of this a little bit more of a tackle. Okay, if you could wrap your hands and lock them, that's great. If you could get your hands around his knees, it's great. Okay, a lot of head on the inside double legs come from a defense position first and then running through them, meaning like a down block or a sprawl, you pop up and you're ready in that level change, you go through them. So same kind of motion that we did with our penetration step with our head on the outside. Okay, I'm really focused on hitting the same penetration step, but instead of my head going to the outside, I'm aiming to hit right in that middle. So I'm here in that square or staggered stance right here. I lower my level. Now as I step here, this is what's really big, is this drive foot being sideways right here. I'm not being here. Okay, a lot of the reason why I say I'm not on that toe is because if Zoe pushed me to the side, I could fall, I'll fall. I'm not as stable and strong. But if my foot is stepped here and he just pushed me, I'm stronger. I'm stronger position. Now from here, as I lower, I'm getting my head and chest below, I'm getting my head below his head and I'm level changing. Now from here, I'm knee driving to the mat and again, getting up. Okay, so instead of my body coming up and through here, I'm coming right into him here. Boom. You see how I moved him already? Notice how my back foot is extended here from pushing. Okay, I'm coming up and through. I'm locking my hands right around those legs, and I'm going to think of this as a tackle. My trail leg's coming up, and I'm running through it into that position. That's my takedown. Okay, hand on the head, level change. Step. Okay, my chest is on my knee right here. I'm driving with that back foot. I'm here. Okay, hit it up into him. Boom! Wrap. Look at the tackle. If you're in a freestyle, you fall right into those low ankle laces. Right to it. Okay? Position right here. Staggered, lower. Step. As I'm stepping now, I'm not going here and going through them. Here, I'm going up. Run them over. Tackle. And like I said, when I do this, I'm not hitting them with the top of my head. Okay? If you play football and you learn a double leg at a young age and get better, your tackling skill will get a lot better. That's why a lot of great football players wrestled. Okay? When I hit this, I don't want to think about using like a helmet and using the top of my head like here. I do that, I'll jam my neck up, okay, and I can hurt myself. Okay? I want to think about my nose, my eyes, no further than my hairline here. And I want to think of it like a battering ram. Like I'm opening up that door, like I'm the cops, and I'm slamming that door open here. I'm in my stance, I palm that back of the head, I just feel level change here. Stepping, driving, boom! Running them over. Okay? With this, I may need to kind of run on my knees. If Zoe is going backwards, the thing that sometimes little kids do or wrong, or even just people when they're learning this making mistakes, is they hit and then they just push and they don't run their feet. Meaning here, I'm in my stance, I get here, they push and they don't leave their feet. Or they don't run their feet. I'm here and I'm extended now. I gotta be able to run those feet, get underneath me, and chase them down. And what I mean is, from here, I level change here, I step, I'm going in, boom, run. Okay, run them down. Again, I can fall into those leg laces right there. Again, if you're having trouble from working from high to low, start down here. Start down here, boom, going through. I don't mind if you lock your hands, but I kind of like lacing those legs. Here. Right here. Run them down. Okay, so simple head on the inside double leg. You know, there's a lot of setups to shots and there's a lot of setups to double legs. Okay, but honestly, one of the best setups to a lot of shots, and especially as your double leg, is your motion. Okay? when I'm wrestling with a guy like Zoe, or really anyone, what I'm trying to get them to do is try to get them to reach on me. Okay? When I see opportunity for them to come out of position, okay, that's my chance to go. Whether you're a fast wrestler or an explosive wrestler, you're always looking for holes in your opponent's kind of line of defense to be able to get through and score. So 2 things of motion here. 1 is just a simple jab fake, and 2, I'm gonna get an angle by circling. Okay, so what I mean with Zoe is here, I put that hand on his head right here. My simple fake, all I'm gonna do for my simple fake is I'm kind of gonna step this back foot, and I'm gonna just kind of stutter step on him and kind of make noise with that front foot here. Okay, when I do that, Zoe's a good wrestler, so the first reaction that he's kind of trained to do is down block. Okay, and that's really, really good. That's why when you wrestle maybe someone that's bigger or older and a little bit more groomed, you might have to fake 2 or 3 times or tie in your motion with your fakes to go through. But real simple is just your fakes. And when I fake on Zoe, a lot of times they'll do is this. They'll go down and away like Zoe does, or sometimes they go they kind of freeze, where they down block, their butt comes up, and I fake, and they kind of feint on me. So when I'm here, you see here, maybe I fake once, maybe I fake twice, and then I see that opening. First one, maybe I fake, put your hand on the mat. The second time I fake, raise. Okay, I'm here, lower, and go. Now it's my choice of my double leg. Head on the outside or head on the inside. For me, I like going head on the outside, so I'm going to shoot my head right up into it. And remember I was saying, it's like that airplane taking off. Here. Boom. Right up. Hands are locked right around here. Now from here, I'm transferring his weight and change it. This is the biggest part right here. I don't want to take him down over my head. I want to take him up and across. You see how I get Zoe's foot off the mat. I transfer that weight. Now I'm stepping up and across right here. Okay? I'm here. Boom. Gone. Changing up and across. Good fakes, good level changes. Okay, seeing that opportunity. Okay, 1 is hitting that head to the outside, and 2, really good at being able to hit this head on the inside leg, double leg, right here. Guy like here, I'm changing up. He reaches, boom, right there. Okay. Going up and through. Using that fake. Now, to add to that fake, I'm going to stay down in it. Sometimes when I fake, guys react, and then you come up out of your stance out of that fake, and you kind of miss your opportunity to go. So when I fake, say Zoe brings his hands down to down block, but then he comes back up. And that's my opportunity to go. So when I wrestle in Zoe and I get down in this fake right here, he stays down. As he comes up, I'm waiting for him to come up. It's my opportunity to go. Cover that distance. Knee pound, coming up. Here. Like a tackle, like a battering ram going through him. Okay? So, simple fake to get to it. To add to that fake now, I'm going to put a little bit more motion on it. And what I mean by motion is not just forward and back, a little more side to side motion. If I could get my opponent to turn on me, okay, it sets it up a little bit better. So Zoe's a left leg lead. When I get down in my stance to go hit my double leg, I might throw a fake out here, he reacts. Now from here, I'm going to transfer my weight from this foot, and I'm going to step across. So watch. Okay, I fake here, I come up with this foot, I'm stepping, I'm sidestepping, and now I move. As I do that, Zoe has to square up with me. I'm thinking about taking his back foot and have him step and square up with me to create that motion. Okay, straight on, Zoe's pretty good on his defense. If I'm doing defense, I'm thinking about being more straight on with my partner. Okay, but I gotta create angles here. Okay, so just as simple as a side step. So I'm gonna circle to that lead leg. I'm gonna make them step that back foot. So say I'm measuring, I fake, now watch my feet. Stay back there. I'm stepping here, I'm pushing off this foot, and now I'm changing from my staggered stance to my square stance here. And as I did that, I changed real fast back to my staggered stance. So it's real slow, like real fast here, where if I fake, I step, I go square for a second. And as I go square again, I change to my staggered stance right here. Okay? It's crazy because you can tie a lot of mistakes always back to stance in motion. You tie a lot of mistakes, you tie a lot of just basic skill back to that foundation of your wrestling. Okay? So I'm here wrestling Zoe. Maybe I throw a fake out. He reacts. Now I'm going to sidestep. I'm going to move on him. Here. Down. Boom. And up. Just a real simple kind of just drill right there. So from here in this motion, so you can see, don't react after that first one. Okay? I'm here, I'm faking, and Zoe's not reacting. Maybe he's just putting his hands down, or say he hits even like a 3-point stance. You know, here, I gotta make Zoe turn and face me. He's too strong here, he's too strong here. So I'm gonna hit a sidestep. I sidestep, motion, boom, he reacts right here. Boom, going through. Stepping up, looking at my finish. Or, I can go ahead on the inside. I fake, he's not reacting that much, I move him. Lower. Face him down. Okay, so using our fakes, using our motion to just set up. One other thing with that, to add, without touching my opponent, is a little bit of a high-low feel. I'm going to show my hands high, and then I'm going to bring my hands back low. When I show my hands high, he raises up to get to my hands. Now I'm going low. Kind of like I'm big, I'm small. High, low. Boom, going through. Going through. Okay, high to low. I can do that in my face. See? Boom. Hit. Notice my hands. When I hit, they come in. I think about getting my chest to his knees. But that's a really, really good, easy, simple setup. High to low. High to low. High, low. Moving. Moving. High, low. Use that double leg. Here, I'm going to go high, low, circle, high, low, shot. High, low, fake. Moving. High, low, double. Running through. If you can do stuff from no contact, and you have good footwork, you're going to get your stuff when it's in contact. So, using my fakes, using my motion, thinking high to low, make him raise, throw a little distraction out there, boom, lower, and go into those double legs. Okay, kind of continuing a little bit, like our last one from space right here. When we catch him reaching, sometimes those hands come up and reach and they post right on my shoulders, okay? The most basic setup to your double leg is a post, okay? Even your high crotch is a simple post, okay? Taking those arms and get them out of the way, all right? Now, also get involved with your hands right here, okay? Put a hand in the top of his head. Put a hand on his shoulder. Move his head to the side, okay? Just a simple motion of moving Zoe's head to the side can be really helpful. You know, Jordan Burroughs, a couple other guys, you know, that are really good at double legs, okay? Really do a good job of popping this guy right here. Maybe pop on his shoulders. Coleman Scott was really good at it. Pop on his shoulders, bang his head, okay? Kind of like a boxer hitting mitts, okay? So if I'm here, I'll bang here and move him. You see how I kind of circled with my motion to move him, okay? I tie it all together. High, low, faking, moving, banging them. Now you see how Zoe, when I'm here in this position, Zoe reaches up on me. He wants to get a hold of me, okay? When you create motion on someone, they like want to lunge at you and grab you. And this is a real good opportunity for me to lower my level and post into it. Now when I go into my post, I want to think about, I'll show you on this side, I want to think about posting my partner right above his elbow. I'm making kind of a a U shape or a V shape with my hands right here. Okay? Now from here, I'm posting right above that elbow and just getting height with it. I can jab it or I can push it. Okay? Everyone's got different philosophy. Don't push. Pop it only. Okay? I'm just like, get it out of the way. That's enough, get it out of the way. That's enough, get it out of the way. I don't care. Whatever way it is, and you can score and penetrate, take it. Okay? But for me, sometimes it's a one-arm post. Sometimes it's a two-hand post. Okay? Maybe I'm out here. I'm just going to fake and then post on me. I'm here. I measure my distance. Okay? Here. I fake. He posts. Right here. Two-hand post. Push. Lower. Hit. Up. Change it across into my double leg. Notice every time I go on my double leg with my head on the outside, I'm stepping up and across. I'm making that line with my foot here to here. I'm directing myself in which way I'm going to go. Here. Up and across. Here. Post. Head on the inside. Running it down. Okay? That's from a simple fake and a simple post. Move his shoulders. Hop on his shoulders, maybe two hands. Bang, bang. Ooh, bang, bang. Post. Here. Right into my double leg. I'm up and through here. Okay? High, low. Catch. Push. Up, up. Right here, looking to come across. You know, getting those hands really involved. Okay? This time I'm going to fake, circle, and then go. Okay? So if I'm here, I fake, I step, I move his head, right there. Right there. A really good one and just simple. Like if you could tie your feet together and get this type of motion, it's really good. So when I fake, I come up. As I'm circling, I'm clubbing his head. As I club that head, his hand reaches. I'm right into my post. So going slow here. Maybe I fake. I move. Here. Shoot. Boom. Coming up and across. Head on the inside. Fake. Move. Takes him down to that double leg. So, using my hands to move him, using my feet as my motion. As he's reaching, catching right above those elbows. Making that V or that U on my hand right above those elbows. Stinging them. When I pop them too, it's like I'm trying to hit him right in that that nerve right there, that funny bone-ish area. Sting him. Make his fingers tingle. Boom. And go into it. Now we're going to kind of get into that inside tie. Now a lot of these setups you can do a lot with your high crotches. So when we get into those high crotches, you'll see a little bit of just kind of that, redoing a little bit of that setups. We'll run through it quick, but now I'm getting into my motion with my hands, okay? I'm going to think about my inside tie and I'm going to think of a steering wheel. Now, instead of going and grabbing my guy, I'm going to use a little bit of my motion. Okay, to do that, I'm going to use my fakes, I'm going to use my side steps, I'm going to use my pops, okay? And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to beat the inside tie as my partner's reaching at me. Okay, so I'm trying to beat that inside tie as my partner's reaching at me. So when I'm in my stance, I can throw those fakes out. And if you ask Zoe, when I throw my fakes out on this guy, I'm keeping him, I'm disrupting him. That's what I want to think about. I'm really disrupting him. I'm keeping him off balance. I'm keeping him feel threatened. Okay, I want to make this guy wrestle my style, not me wrestle his style. Okay, I'm trying to impose my style on his style. So from out here, I can use the top of my head. I can fake. Now I'm keeping my hands. You see how I'm kind of keeping my hands tight? I'm staying down in my stance right here. Okay, now as he reaches on me, see, like every time I fake on Zoe, he's like, I'm going to think about catching on the inside. Okay. A little bit of a wax on, wax off drill, okay? Old Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off. I'm going to wax on right here, okay? So as Zoe reaches at me, I'm going to wax on, and my other hand is coming across here, like a steering wheel, like I'm on a turtle. Here. Now I'm in my inside tie. Inside tie staggered here. So it doesn't matter whether Zoe's a lefty or righty. I'm going to pull him to a square stance. So if Zoe's reach on me here, you see how I pull him to a square stance. Think about when I'm going into the steering wheel also, I'm using my feet to move him rather than my arms. And what you'll make mistakes as when you're trying to do this is you're going to go move him here and forget to move your feet. I'm thinking about doing it all at the same time. So if I do from back here, watch my right foot. As he's going to reach here, I'm stepping to that side and now I'm moving him. And now look, see how my stance is down. I'm not moving him up here where I have the level change again. As I move them here. Again, look at my back foot. My back foot is turned. I'm pushing off of this foot rather than here. Now from here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to raise. I'm going to raise my arms. I lower my level. Now from here, I'm lowering. I'm taking right to my double leg. Right there. Okay. Take. Oh. Raise. I even dropped this hand out. So if this leg's here, you'll see we'll go into our high crotches. But from here, I'm going to take that double leg. Boom. Coming up. Coming up and across. But really good motion, like just kind of playing this game right here. Just reach at me. Okay. Now I'm not coming high. I'm not coming high. I'm staying down in my stance. I want to think about my hairline, which isn't there anymore. So picture as if I had a hairline right here. Okay, I want to think about this height being like right below his chin, right at his chest right here. So I'm here down in my stance, I'm moving. You see how my head's down already? Here. Now, a lot of times they just raise up. Boom, I can hit. Right to that double leg. Tying our post into this, you'll see this a lot. As I move him, guys feel it, they freak out and they put their thumbs in on my shoulders and they go over. But when they go over, that's the time that I can post. So tying, I'm chain wrestling all those kind of moves and motions together. Where I fake, move him. He starts freaking out here, he's pushing off on me. Push off of my shoulders. He's pushing off on me. This is the time I change my hand off the inside tie, and I change my post. Going right into my double. Back leg, trail legs coming up. Right across. And that's the position I want to be in. You see how my head and chest are up, my hips are in, and I can go right into them. Okay? I can do it either way. Sometimes if he puts this hand on me, I can move him, and now I go to that other side. So watch this. He goes here, I circle drag, or I circle, steering wheel him. As I move him, my hand comes off the head, and now I'm on the inside tie on this side. Right into it. So one way, I just stay on it. The other way, a little bit more advanced, I'm changing off. So this side, as I'm moving, here, stay on it and go. This side, I move, I change. As I move them, hand comes off the head to here. Okay. One thing that I just want to point out on my inside tie is, as I'm going to circle drag it, I'm taking my hand kind of down, more to here, rather than trying to stay up here. If I stay up here, say he has elbow control or something, it's hard for me to move him from here. Okay? So by taking my hand kind of down by his forearm, I can get a better extension on his arm. Meaning this, if I'm here and I go like this, see how my elbows are tight, I don't feel it. I'm actually going to extend myself up over it. So as it's posted, see how I extend up and over it. Here. There. Okay? A lot of different kind of stuff comes from here. Okay? Here. Raise. Boom. into that double leg. So using that steering wheel, moving them both ways. An advanced kind of way where I start on this side and change, or kind of a basic way, I'm moving them this way. But really focus on my height of my stance, staying down in my stance, and moving into that direction. Okay, kind of using that steering wheel position, that inside tie position. As I'm moving them now, I'm going to turn it into a push by. Okay, so as my hand comes off here, as it's rotating around, it's coming around to this elbow here, and now from here, I'm going to push it by. Okay, there's a lot of things I could do from there. Okay, from here to here. Okay, you know, I love just getting the stance in motion. I love getting to do this because it adds so much things to it. You know, like maybe we'll just make a video on just stance in motion with snaps and everything. But you know, I love this type of motion. You know, where you're faking on a guy and then moving on. Okay, I start from here. I ended up here. Okay, now from here. Let me try to turn this way so you can see. So as it reaches, I'm moving them here. Here. Now from here, you see how his arm's down already? All I'm going to do is I'm going to push it by. I'm going to take that side step here. I push by. Now I open up his whole body right here. Okay? If you're having trouble doing it from this whole circle, just start here in your stance. Just start here. I'm pushed here. As I push it by, I'm taking a side step. Now I'm going into him. You know, from here, you don't even have to hit a knee. You could just run them over. Boom! Into a double leg. Some of you guys that are heavyweights. Okay? But a little bit more of a finesse. I'm here in this position, head to head. And say I'm head to head. I sidestep, I push. That's all it is. Right here. Square stance, step, stagger stance. Right there into my double leg. Okay? But to get a little more advanced, he puts that hand on my shoulder. I'm moving. I come into that circle drag. When I do that, I'm kind of doing it low. I'm not doing it up high. Here and then here. So really kind of using that push by to get it. Adding to it, I can get my other arm involved. Okay? So now instead of a push by, I'm going to circle drag it. So all I'm doing from here is as I'm going around here, as I'm coming down, I'm coming up and catching. Not low. Up even by his armpit and his bicep or his tricep right here. And I'm pulling it across his body. Say this arm is just not strong enough to do it all, or you don't have that feel yet. I'm going to circle drag it to here. Okay. As I'm doing it, I'm taking a side step to the outside, and I'm going. That's that motion, constant. I can do it high on my feet, okay, or I take it down. Here. Oh, angle. So the same thing I'm doing with the push by, I'm doing with that circle drag, and I'm opening up that body. Watch his body open. Open up that body. There's a target. If you watch like the defense kind of videos, okay, those line of defense is head, your arms, and last is your hips. So doing that push by or doing that circle drag, I'm taking away his lines of defense, and I'm only concerned about his hips. Okay, but generally if I beat his head and I beat his arms, beat his hands, I'm generally going to be able to beat those hips a little bit better now. Okay, so play around with it, where I add that circle here, step and push by, right here. Boom, into those double legs. Drag into those double legs. Drive it through. You know, tie it all together. Say I bang them, bang, move them. You know, bang, move them. See those feet jump into those shots right here. full angle right here. Taking it, being able to bump through it.